Reconciliation. To put back together what's been broken. Healing. We've had so many different terms associated with it as Catholics. Confession, penance. Confession and penance are two parts of a much larger process of reconciliation. And what we have to offer as Catholics is a beautiful ritual that is a private, protected, and prayerful conversation, all helping us to believe that God forgives us. Is it perfect? No, nothing is perfect. But this is what we offer. We offer it in many different ways, and consistent with all the things that we have been saying during this pilgrimage, you can reconcile with yourself or with others literally at any time. But there are times when another person, especially priests who are trained and hopefully prayerful, can really help you in that process, help you with one thing, to believe and celebrate that God forgives you. So we really have a jewel in the sacrament of reconciliation. My colleagues who are not Catholic consistently say to me, ministers from other faith, you really have something there. First of all, it's free, which I find is pretty funny, but there's something to that. And literally every priest is trained and can offer the grace of this sacrament to put back together something that's been broken. So I have a lot of images about the sacrament of reconciliation and the larger experience of reconciliation. The first is, I'm not a big car guy, but I really appreciate people who are. Like every time I drive down the street and I see some guy or woman in a car that I know they've worked really hard to fix up, a classic car, I always give those people a honk and a wave, and they always appreciate it, you know. And so I distinctly remember one night going over to this guy's house for dinner, and he goes, I want to show you something. I said, great. We go out in the garage, and there's a tarp over this hunk of stuff. And he pulls the tarp over, and he goes, that's a 57 Chevy. And I just kind of laughed, you know. He goes, I'm going to restore it. But it's a 57 Chevy, you know. And a 57 Chevy is a classic. It was designed and built at a certain period of time in the automotive history and in American culture, where it kind of looks like a rocket ship with these pieces at the end here. I happen to have a turquoise one, which is my all-time favorite. And this guy was looking at this 57 Chevy, and he was looking at the potential of the 57 Chevy. And he was going to work really hard to put the car back together. I don't know whether it was an accident. I don't know whether he just wanted to dismantle it. Whatever the case, I immediately thought of reconciliation. A 57 Chevy, barely assembled with this long-term sense of hope that it can be restored, is still a 57 Chevy. A 57 Chevy with a little dent in it is still a 57 Chevy. A 57 Chevy that gets totaled and then redone is a 57 Chevy. It's a classic. And I want to remind every single one of you tuning in, you're not just a car. You're a classic. You are like a 57 Chevy. And sin, mistakes, all kinds of burdens may dent you. At times they may total you. Always remember, you're a classic. You're a 57 Chevy. God believes that.